colored roses, $29.99. Upgrade to 24 for $10 more. 1-800-Flowers.com. Enter the code HERD, H-E-R-D. Greg Olson, Keenan Allen, Michael Vick on the way today. It is Super Bowl week. New England's favored by 4.5. That's the number. I think it's perfectly placed. They have a coaching advantage. They have a significant quarterback advantage. Philadelphia, top to bottom of the roster, probably has a little more high-end talent, but so did Seattle, and New England beat them, and so did Atlanta, and New England beat them. And so did the St. Louis Rams, and New England beat them. So this documentary came out, Tom versus Time. It's a 6-part series. There was a lot of speculation. Is it going to be the distraction for Tom? But it's been done long ago. I mean, this stuff was shot probably, like 3 months ago. And it's already been edited by somebody else. So I think it's more of a distraction for Philadelphia because they're watching this stuff. And Tom looks like mythical. It's kind of intimidating. I'm fascinated by it. I love documentaries. I like, nothing against films. I just saw 3 Billboards. I thought that was excellent. I watched The Post. I thought that was excellent. I like movies, but I love documentaries, and I watch a lot more documentaries than I do movies. I like to see inside people's lives. I like reality more than fiction. I read nonfiction, not fiction. I have nothing to escape from. I want real life. I'm not miserable. I don't have to escape anything. This is awesome. And one of the things it illuminates is people hear what they want to hear, and people see what they want to see. And that's the world we live in now. If you're a liberal, you go to MSNBC because it affirms your beliefs. And if you're a conservative, you go to Fox News because it affirms your beliefs. And that's the way people work psychologically. You want to go to a party of people that tell you how great you are and care about the stuff you care about. That's the world we live in. And so I've heard this a lot about Tom Brady. He's arrogant. And I always say, show me the tape. Where? I've been in TV a long time. The real you comes out. You can't hide it. If you're a schmuck, it'll come out. If you're a good guy, people will see it. You can't hide. You can't lie forever. Eventually, the truth comes out. Tom's been in this league for 17 years. Show me the piece of tape that's arrogant. He yelled at a coach. Yelled? It's called football. Everybody's yelling at everybody. Coaches yelling at coordinators. Coordinators yelling at players. Yelling's not arrogant. Yelling's passion. If you yell at your son, are you arrogant? Or do you yell at your son because he misbehaved or he's not listening to you? Yelling's not arrogant. Certainly not in all cases. But Tom Brady, when you see him behind the scenes, and Christine, you and I have talked about this. If you do a documentary and you have cameras around you for a long period of time, you forget. They become part of your life and your tapestry and your fabric. It's one thing if I sit down for a 9-minute interview. I can BS you. If I have cameras around me for 3.5 to 4 weeks in my home, in my pajamas, your social tendencies will come out. Every single part of this documentary, I've seen 3 parts of 6. You can see how human Brady is. And he talks about leadership here. And I'm sorry, I just don't think this is a con job. I think this is who he is.
I show up to work every day just like them, trying to do the same thing. We have the same goals. But my connection with them is through, joy and love. It's not through fear. It's not through insults. That's not how I lead. I have the healthy respect for my teammates. Everyone's trying to achieve. You're all trying to climb the same mountain. One of my coaches said something great. He said, I want to look in your eyes and know that you want the same thing that I want. He said, once I see that, then I know, we're going in the right direction.
Show me arrogant. Like, dude loves football, loves his family, loves his teammates, takes less money. Kirk Cousins is a man of faith. And all I keep hearing is, I want my $30 million. Do you really care about your teammates? Because, dude, you're not worth $23 million. That's all ego and vanity. That's all ego and vanity. I'm going to make the most money possible. That's great in most jobs. It's not great in the NFL, which is a salary cap league. That's why Kobe Bryant's got one of the biggest egos I've ever seen. I want to make a nickel more than Kevin Garnett. That's all about ego and vanity. You got a pile of money. It's not about respect. That's about ego. Kirk Cousins, I got to make $30 million. Tom's like, okay, I'll make 22. Well, his wife makes a lot of money. It don't matter, dude. Tom Brady could take every last penny. So everybody, you tell me he's arrogant. I've seen arrogant from Cam. I've seen it from Aaron Rodgers. I've seen it from Jay Cutler. I saw it from Jay George. I've seen arrogant. I've covered sports. Show me the piece of tape where Tom Brady is arrogant. You can't BS people if you're doing a documentary like this. it would eventually come out. You'd see stories on it. How many stories have we read on Jay Cutler? He's difficult. Aaron Rodgers had teammates, a brother, family members. He can be arrogant. He's aloof. Stuff comes out, man. Stuff comes out always. Never comes out on Brady. I worked with Randy Moss, and I asked Randy, I said, what's Tom like? And he's like, brother for life. Dude is great. Now, Randy didn't have a good ending to New England. When Randy left New England, it wasn't good. And I asked him one day when I worked with him, I said, what's Brady like? And he's like, all-world dude, all about the team. Christine, the news.
No. Heard on the news. This is the Herd Line News.
Do you ever wonder what the teams do the night before the Super Bowl? Like, there's no practice. They're just in their hotels the night before the Super Bowl. What's that like?
I think it'd be hard to sleep.
You think so?
Oh, God.
I would take some melatonin, probably.
You're going to be watched, but then you're going to be groggy. But you know the worst part, Christine? It's not the night before. And I've talked to players about this. The worst part is you get up at 7:40, and the game's not till 6, and you sit around. So you go to have breakfast, then you have a meeting. I've talked to baseball players. They're like, listen, man, if you don't golf, you wake up at 9, you don't go to the batting cage till 3.
Oh, I used to bartend in Boston, and there were definitely a handful of players from the Red Sox who would come in and get wasted the night before a game so that they could sleep in the next morning. I don't know if that's the best idea, but that's what they were doing.
It's not the nights. It's sitting around waiting for the games. And in our lifetime, Christine, games have gotten later because they want to stretch they want to put the advertising in prime time. We get higher. It used to be the Super Bowls was closer to noon. Now it's at like 6.
Right. So one thing that the Eagles are at least doing is they're having Brett Favre speak to the team on Saturday night before the Super Bowl. And remember, Favre was part of the team that beat the Patriots 35-21 in 1996. Do you remember that game?
Kind of. I remember Brett Favre. You know, New England then, Christine, wasn't New England.
No, it's a different team.
Like
obviously.
Yeah, I mean, that was Parcells into Pete Carroll into Belichick. Goulet, do you remember? Well, you were in the area.
I was 10, so you were 10.
Do you
also.
remember? That's Connecticut. That's where you were at.
Yeah, it was not a great game. It was exciting for like a few seconds because there was a kick return touchdown and there was like a quick back and forth of like 3 touchdowns. But other than that, it was a blowout. That Patriots team was not that good.
Who was the quarterback?
That was Bledsoe.
Okay, that was Drew Bledsoe.
Yeah, that team was not an all-time team. They just happened to make the Super Bowl that year.
Wait, weren't you 10 also when that happened?
Yes.
Good memory for 10 years old.
I was 49 back then. I'm much older than my staff.
You're not 49 in 96. Where were you in 96?
80 to 84 high school, then a college in Las Vegas. I just got a job in Tampa.
You're in Tampa.
Yeah.
Okay. Bill Belichick was asked about his coaching future because there's been a lot of question of how long he's going to remain in New England, especially after this season. And his answer was, I'm only thinking about Sunday. Now, that's a very Belichick answer. I'm just looking right ahead of me. But when someone says something like that, it makes you think that they're not going to be around for long.
I don't think
Otherwise, they would say, I'll be here for a long time. Or I love being here.
I don't think he is there forever. I don't think so
either.
Yeah, I think it's ending pretty quick.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I still contend the Garoppolo, Jacoby Brissett trades just don't make sense to me. I strongly believe, and it's been reported, so I believe it to be true, and I believe it to be true before it was reported that Belichick did not want to get rid of Garoppolo and Brissett, and he got rid of both. And I still think I think he wants to win, and if Belichick left after the Super Bowl, I would not be shocked. Brady will not. Yeah, he's losing both coordinators, and they have no backup. I seriously believe this.
You think Brady would stay with a holding staff?
No, Brady's not going anywhere. Belichick retires after this game would not surprise me in the least. Let's just John, are you recording that? I want to get that down. Brady's coming back. That I 100% guarantee you. You think I'm crazy? Belichick to me is 50-50.
I don't know, because if Brady came back and then they didn't win a Super Bowl, then for Brady that makes it look like he was only so great because of Belichick.
Yeah, but he's not going to retire because his brand is age defiant, and he's going to be the MVP, so he's not going to step out.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be one thing if he came off a horrible surgery, and he will stay. But I'll go back to saying this again. Belichick got rid of both backup quarterbacks and both coordinators he has helped get jobs. If he leaves, Brady is sitting there with no Belichick, no backup, and no coordinators. I'm telling you, and Belichick is a grudge holder. He held it against Cleveland. He would not trade Garoppolo to Cleveland. And reportedly, he's like, I'm not giving them anything. I think Belichick is a 50-50 proposition on leaving. I really do.
That would definitely give us a very interesting offseason. We'd have a lot to talk about.
Unbelievable.
And finally, it's now time for The Real Deal, brought to you by Carl's Jr. and Hardee's $5 All-Star Meals. The Patriots will reportedly let Tom Brady decide when it is time to walk away. So speaking about future, the Patriots apparently said that Brady will know when it's time to hang it up.
Yeah.
So Brady's going to make that decision, which I think we both agree on.
Yeah.
That's news.
Christine with the news.
Well, that's the news.
And thanks for stopping by.
The Herd Lie News.
Bring in my friend Michael Vick, Fox NFL Sunday, Falcons, Eagles, Jets, Steelers. You know Andy Reid, who just got rid of his quarterback, Alex Smith. By the way, the Patriots roster against the Eagles roster. There's a story today that 18 New England Patriots are undrafted.
I can believe that.
4 of their starters, their wide receivers, went to Monmouth and Rutgers.
Yeah.
So, to you, do you look at the Eagles roster and think way better than New England's? How's that land for you?
Well, I do think the Philadelphia Eagles roster has more guys that was drafted high. You look at Brandon Graham, Fletcher Cox, both first-round picks.
Yeah.
Just a ton of guys who were in the era, Andy Reid, Chip Kelly era, who's still around, who's guys who are, high draft picks. And then you look at New England's roster, and these guys just pop up out of nowhere. Amendola was on the practice squad in Philadelphia, played on the scout team. Julian Edelman, where did he come from?
Kent State. He's a quarterback.
Yeah, maybe 6th-round guy. And then you got Tom Brady, one of the best quarterback in the National
But why does it
Football
work
League.
for New England then?
I think it's the coaches. I think it's the staff. I think they game plan different than any other team in the league. I think they get it and they understand football.
More about concepts.
Situational football concepts. It's just a different field, man. And when you watch them, it's evident. And if you look at the New England Patriots, they play their best football in the second half. The Super Bowl, it was evident last year.
Yeah, and I was saying earlier, to play for Belichick, would you want? I mean, okay, you were a star athlete, and you'd go out there, you ad-libbed a lot. So my takeaway would be, you wouldn't want to play for Bill Belichick.
It all depends. I think that will have to come down to how we game plan, what the concepts, what the plays will look like. Am I comfortable with it? Can I have success with it? And the New England Patriots are so team-oriented that every guy gets to touch the ball. You got 3 running backs, and everyone has 9 carries apiece at the end of the day for a total of 27 carries and 50 yards apiece.
So it really is a community.
It's a community. It's running back by committee every year, and it's whatever Tom Brady chooses to do in that quick passing game, and then they beat you deep. It's a recipe for success every week, and I love watching it.
You've known guys who have played for New England.
Yeah.
And what do they say, Michael?
It's the most structured program that they have ever been around. From high school to college to the National Football League, they do things different. And even talking to Chad Johnson, he just said it was a different world. It took him a while to get adjusted, and he never really made the adjustment.
He didn't.
It's a great platform for any player who wants success and obviously who wants to win a Super Bowl ring.
What do you make of Tom versus Time, that documentary? Is he a little too obsessed? Like, you're sitting there watching this stuff, and what's your takeaway?
No, I love it. I think this is a blueprint for young guys playing in the National Football League. Jimmy Garoppolo, for instance. He'll watch Tom versus Time now, maybe 10 years from now, and he might try to duplicate some of the things that Tom is doing so he can play into his 40s. I think the best quarterbacks mature, well into their 30s. Early 30s or, well into the 30s.
This is Brady talking about watching tape. So, Mike, watch this. This is Brady talking about how much tape he watches.
When you've been doing something so long, you just don't see, tape. You see the depth of everything.
Yeah.
How do you know when the guy's going to blitz? You kind of look at the shape of the defense. A guy just may have a little tell, like a poker player. It's like, how do you know? Well, I'm not even doing it for so long. You've seen so much. I watch tape all day Monday, all day Tuesday. You know, Wednesday we practice, Thursday we practice, Friday we practice, and I come home and I watch film. And then Saturday before the game I watch film. And then Sunday morning I watch film. And the whole time I'm just trying to get tells. I don't know why I can sit here and watch it and, you know, process information quickly, but I can. I mean, I could literally, like, just watch film all day. It's almost like soothing, because I've been doing it for so long. I can just go 4 or 5 hours without getting up from this chair.
Michael, you looked at me and you were like, you nodded your head about the
Why
tell
didn't
thing.
Tom versus Time come out 10 years ago? And I needed to see that and feel that way.
Well, you admitted to me one time that you didn't take the film seriously for the first few years.
Yeah, see, just in watching that, when he's talking about, you know, trying to find any telltale sign, the details that, you know, to know when the defense is about to blitz, because they might do a good job of disguising, but it may be the 1 technique or the 3 technique that may give it away because they may blitz to the 3 technique side. Little things, the subtle things that some quarterbacks may overlook, but he's just trying to find that edge. Listen, at 40 years old, I'll be trying to find the edge as well, and Tom will have to continue to do that.
Right.
If he wants to play well into his 40s, you know, at the age of 45, which he says that's when he wants to retire, you know, that preparation to get to that point starts now. So Tom versus Time right now is the best documentary that can be put together, a blueprint for a lot of young quarterbacks who want to play, you know,
by the way, you know,
longevity.
You know Andy Reid, you know Alex Smith.
Yeah.
You know, Alex is one of those guys that gets beat up a little bit because he's not big and he doesn't have the Flacco arm and he doesn't have – like, how do you view Alex Smith? Like, I think Alex is an upgrade over Kirk Cousins. Nothing against Kirk Cousins.
I do too.
You do too.
Yeah.
Alex doesn't make any
agree.
mistakes.
I
Alex
agree.
doesn't throw any picks. Alex is very good at the line of scrimmage. By the way, Alex is more athletic than people think.
Yeah, he can move. He can move the chains with his legs, and I tell you what, the NFC East just got that much tougher. You know, it won't be a cakewalk for any of these teams, whether it's Dallas, whether it's New York with Pat Shermer, you know, now joining that team and in that division. And Alex Smith is going to be a good addition to this team.
How well do you know Alex?
I know Alex really well. I know him really well.
What impresses you about him?
I think his intellect, you know, and being around him for, you know, at least 15 days in training camp.
Yeah.
And watching him work, watching him run the film room, basically almost as if he was the quarterback coach, and going through the concepts with Matt Nagy and breaking it all down, and together as a room, helping Patrick Mahomes, and, you know, putting concepts together when the concept didn't work 3 days in a row. Find a way to make it work, tweak it a little bit. And I think that's the thing that has helped him in his career, being a game manager, but being perfect almost by doing it. His quarterback rating is high every year.
He was #1 in the league this year.
Over 100, yeah.
Every single year. And the one thing I'll say about Alex, he's a grown-up.
Yeah.
Like, he's not going to give the game away.
Yeah.
He's going to show up every day. Like, there's something to be said. And I like Kirk Cousins. He's fine. There is something to be said. And I've been critical of Cam on this. Man, do I get a lot of this. I get a lot
Too much of that.
You get what? And, like, Alex going to show up. He's going to give me 100.
It's going to look the same every week.
Every single day, man. He may be oatmeal, but I know exactly what I'm getting every morning for breakfast with Alex.
Look,
and he's not going to throw it away.
If I was a coach, that's exactly what I would want. If I had 3 quarterbacks who line up and I let all of them play one preseason game, and just to watch a guy like Alex Smith, you know, not make mistakes, ball placement is where it needs to be, good accuracy, not the strongest arm, and will make plays with his legs, he'll be my guy. I'd take a guy like Alex Smith any day at the quarterback position.
Good seeing you, Michael.
Good seeing you.
Guys, it's a new year, and I know what happens in the new year. You make resolutions, and you want to work out, and that's why gyms are packed in January and February. Let me guess, you didn't get to the gym yesterday. A little less frequent. Time to make that big change. You know what? Why don't you, besides just working out, what about M-Drive? You've hit that post-holiday lull. Strength, stamina, endurance, energy, all improve with M-Drive. It's nutrition science. 5 clinically tested ingredients, built on science. Elevate something already in your body. It boosts your natural testosterone levels. It increases your energy. And the best part, M-Drive has what you need to have. M-Drive Workforce, which is the energy sustainer. They have M-Drive Boost and Burn, the fat burner, and M-Drive Primes for people just working out. You want to get it? It reconnects you with your prime. You can go to Sprouts, GNC, Walgreens, Vitamin Shop, Dwayne Reed. Just go online. Do that, too. Get 25% off. BuyMDrive.com, code HERD. 25% off. Refine your prime. Nutrition Science.
Bibs on, people. Lobster Fest is back.